Hello everybody, this is 생활영어 Everyday English, and I'm your teacher, Michael Corey Broussard, but you can call me Corey. Welcome to the online version of this class. I know all of you are probably unhappy that we have to have an online class. I'm also unhappy, but there's nothing we can do, so let's just try to do the best we can, okay? Today's class, we are just going to learn the basics of what we need to do. So we are going to talk about the syllabus, your homework, cyber campus, and what will happen next class. Right now, I don't have everything I need to do a really good online class. You can tell the sound is not that great. So hopefully next week I will buy a microphone and we will be able to hear me clearly. Right now I'm going to shut off the video and just use a better headset so that you can hear my voice clearly. Next week I will have video. Okay, so let's get started.
Okay, let's take a look at your syllabus. On your syllabus here, you can see that this is Freshman English. Freshman English is 생활영어, and I am your teacher, Michael Corey Broussard. My email here is mcbchoson@gmail.com. You can email me anytime if you have any questions, if you just want to talk, anything you need, you can just send a message here. But this isn't the fastest way to get a hold of me. If you need to really get a hold of me quickly, you can send me a message on my phone at 010-5548-9881. And you can send a KakaoTalk message or just a regular SMS message is okay too. But if you need to send me a message, either one of these are fine. Usually I answer within 1 hour if you send me a message, and if you send me an email, it's more like 24 hours. So make sure if you're in an emergency, maybe send a message to my phone, okay? If you look more closely at the syllabus here, you can see our book is Breakthrough Plus number 2, and you only need the student book, no workbook, just the student book. And your homework actually for today is to buy the book. Make sure you have a new book and it's the current version. We'll talk more about what that is later, but your homework is to buy the book. If you look down here, you can see our schedule. Basically, every week we have a new chapter to study. This week we are just doing the introduction, but next week we will start on Unit 1. So we have Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll have a review and a test, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, then a review and a final test. You can see here that we will have 1, 2, 3, 4 quizzes. The quizzes we will take online as well, along with both of our final tests we will take online unless we come back to face-to-face classes. You can also see here our class is held on Thursday, so normally on Thursday on September 29th, I believe, and October 1st is Chuseok. So because of Chuseok, we wouldn't have class, but our class is going to be online, so there's no reason why we can't do it anyway. But because it's Chuseok, instead of just 24 hours for Chuseok, we are going to have 1 week. So anytime during the week, you can watch the video. If you have some time while you're at your parents' house, you can, or if you're just hanging out at home, you can take a minute and watch the video, but you're going to have 1 whole week to watch the video because of Chuseok on this day. So that's our schedule. It could change if we have some festivals or holidays, but this looks pretty much what it's going to be like. So on week 4, you're going to have quiz number 1, and it's just going to be units 1 and 2. And then before we take the midterm test, we're going to have our second quiz. Your quizzes and your midterm and final tests are very, very similar. And we will talk about our quizzes and tests in a little bit. So don't worry, we will talk about those. Let's look at the next page. On the next page, you can see we have homework and weekly writing assignments along with quizzes. Quizzes we will talk about, but quizzes are worth 10% of your grade. If you look down here, 10%. So 4 quizzes, that means each quiz is worth 2.5% each. And I will tell you all the information you need to know about the quiz before we take the quiz. So the quizzes are not a surprise quiz. They're just a regular quiz, and they're actually to help you with your midterm and final tests. But they are 10% of your grade. Next, you might have homework. Homework isn't too much in our class, especially if we're online, but maybe if I want you to study something more, I'll give you some homework. If you don't do your homework, it'll be 1% of your grade minus. Very importantly, though, your other real homework is your weekly writing assignment. Your weekly writing assignment will be on Chosun Cyber Campus, and it is worth 10% of your grade. So if you don't do your homework, you will lose 1% of your grade. We will talk about your writing assignments soon, so don't worry, but it's very important that you do your weekly writing assignments because they are a significant portion of your grade, 10% of your grade. So make sure you do your writing assignment homework. And last, normally only 25% of students can receive an A, but because of the coronavirus, we are changing that. So this semester, 40% of students can receive an A or an A+. That's really good for you. 40% is really high. So if you study and you do everything and you watch the videos, I promise you will have a really good chance at getting an A or an A+. So make sure you study, study, study. Okay, next let's look at our class style. Like I said, we will be using Breakthrough Plus number 2, so this is what our book looks like. Make sure you get the one with the yellow stripe here on the bottom. The old one is just all purple. But number 2 is what we are studying this semester. Last semester you studied number 1. In our class, we will have basically 2 sections that we will have to do. First, we are going to study the grammar. So the grammar is in the back of the book, and you can see here, for example, chapter 1 is simple present. So together we will study the grammar, and I will teach you how to learn the grammar, all the different vocabulary words and whatnot. And on page 102, the back of the book, where the grammar is, there's also questions. And these questions we will do together, and they will often be on the quiz or test. So we will do these together, and if we don't do them, they won't be on the quiz or test. For example, this section I think is just kind of too easy, so I won't study this with you, and it won't be on the quiz or test. So first we will study the grammar, and then we will go back to the front of the book, and we will study the activity. So this is the activity on page 6. And basically what you have to do is you look at the picture and you have to make a sentence. So for example, in this picture we can say the person, Vicky, always wakes up at, and you can't really see it, but the time is 7:30. So Vicky always wakes up at 7:30. So together we'll do this, and we will make different sentences, and these sentences will also be on your quizzes and tests. So make sure when you watch the video, you take good notes, because all of these sentences could be on your quiz and test. Next, let's take a look at quizzes and tests. So there are 2 types of things, obviously, quiz questions and test questions. Both quiz questions and test questions will come from the same place, our grammar practice and the activity. Remember, the grammar practice is going to be at the end of your book. So for chapter 1, it'll be page 102. So this will always be in the back of the book, and the activity will always be in the front of the book in the chapter. So both of these will come for the quiz questions and test questions, but if there is a question on the quiz, that question will not be on the test. Okay, so if there is a quiz question from here, it won't be on here. So for example, this is from page 102 in your book, so chapter 1. If we look at it closely, maybe for example, question number 1 and 4 are quiz questions. Okay, all of these questions could be on the quiz or test, but you take the quiz, and number 1 and number 4 are on the quiz. That means they're not going to be on the test. They are on the quiz, so no test questions. That means you just have to study questions 2, 3, and 5. These questions could be on the test. Now, maybe for the test, I only choose number 3, or maybe I only choose number 5, or maybe I choose 3 and 5. But in any case, these questions could be on the test. Questions number 1 and 4 were on the quiz, so they will not be on the test. All right, so all of your questions will be in the grammar practice and the activity. But if they show up on the quiz, they won't be on the test. Okay, next let's look at your homework. So like I said, your homework is going to be making a dialogue. Okay, every week you will have to make one dialogue, and there are only 3 rules to how to make this dialogue. Rule number 1, you have to use the grammar twice. Rule number 2, you have to make at least 6 lines, so A, B, A, B, A, B, 6 times. And you have to make your own sentences. You can't use sentences from the book, but this should be a dialogue, 대화. Okay, the topic can be anything you want: fighting with your mom, meeting your friend, going to the club. I don't care. The topic is your choice. There are only 3 rules. You have to use the grammar twice, and you have to use at least 6 lines, A, B, A, B, A, B, and you have to make your own sentences. Okay, so for example, here in chapter 1, the grammar was simple present. All right, so simple present, we have the vocabulary like always, usually, often, sometimes, hardly, and never. These are adverbs of frequency. We will study this next week. So when you do your homework next week, you will have to use this grammar, simple present, and adverbs of frequency twice to make a dialogue. So if we look at a sample dialogue, for example, this is a dialogue I made. So I wrote, "Hey Corey, do you want to see a movie today?" "I'm sorry, I can't. I have class today." "Oh really? Do you always have class on Tuesdays?" "Yes, I do. I never have class on Wednesdays, though." "Okay, how about watching a movie on Wednesday?" "Sounds great. Let's do it." Okay, so here you can see I use the vocabulary always and never. I use the vocabulary twice, and I have A, B, A, B, A, B. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and I made this up by myself. This is not in the book. Now, if you notice, there are some mistakes in here. Okay, for example, I have a comma, but my H is capital H. That's wrong. It should be a small h. That's okay. When you make your dialogue, if you make a mistake, I don't care. I only check if it's finished or not finished. Did you use the grammar or not use the grammar? Did you do 6 sentences or not 6 sentences? All right, if you make a mistake, it's okay. There's a second mistake here. Sound great. It should be sounds great. Okay, so mistakes are okay. I don't care about mistakes. I just want you to make a dialogue, a 대화. Okay, after you make the dialogue, you're going to have to submit it to Cyber Campus. On Cyber Campus, it's not too complicated, but there are a lot of things that we can do. I'm going to talk about how to submit your homework in a minute, and also how to take quizzes and tests. But first, let's look at the Cyber Campus page. On here, there are many things that we can do, but in my class, we're going to focus on only a few things. Number 1, of course, is online lectures. Online lectures are important. Next, announcements, material, homework, tests, and quizzes. These things are the most important things for my class. The other things are also important, but this is where you will be looking most of the time. For online lectures, you will have 24 hours to complete them. So if your class is on Tuesday, you will have to finish the class Tuesday 9 a.m. until Wednesday 9 a.m. If your class is on Thursday, you will have to finish them between Thursday 9 a.m. and Friday 9 a.m. If you don't finish them within 24 hours, you will get minus 1%. So make sure you watch the online lecture within 24 hours. After the class is finished, the 24 hours are complete, the video will move to the materials section. So if you missed the class, you forgot, you didn't know why, but you just couldn't come to class, you can go look in the materials section, and here you can watch the video so you can complete your homework and look at what you learned that week. You can find all the videos here in the materials section. We also have announcements. You should check every day. You should come to Cyber Campus and just look to see if I posted anything important, but make sure you check back every day. The materials, like I said, all the video and class documents will be here. So after I finish a PowerPoint, I'll post it here. After I finish a video, I'll post it here. If we have any syllabus, it'll be here. Anything that's important will be here, and you can check it and download it and see it all. Next, we have homework. Like I said, it's due once a week, and it's always due at 11:59 p.m. the day before your class. The day before your class. So if your class is on Tuesday, it's due Monday at 11:59 p.m. If your class is on Thursday, it's due Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Okay? Please do not forget to finish your homework the day before class. And finally, we have tests and quizzes. You have 4 quizzes and 2 written tests to finish. And we'll talk about how to do these in just a minute. But first, let's talk about how to submit your homework. So if you go to the homework section here, assignments, you will see a page like this. First, you have to click on the homework. So this is just an example that I made. But you'll click on the homework for that week. It'll be labeled Unit 1 homework, Unit 2 homework, Unit 3 homework, like that. And here you can see when it's published, the start date and the finish date. Remember, it's going to be finished by 11:59 p.m. So make sure you finish it the day before your class. Down here, you don't use the comments section or the big box here. None of this is needed. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to click Select File and then upload a file from your computer. You should use the Hangul program or Microsoft Word or any program that you want, but you should upload the file here. Okay? Don't write here. This is not where you should write. You should upload the file. If you write it here, it's kind of difficult for me to check and do everything. So please, please, please upload your file through Hangul or Microsoft Word. Next is the quizzes and tests. If you go again to Cyber Campus, down here you can see our exams, and you click on the exam. I'll post the quizzes and the tests. Usually you will have a week to finish the quiz or the test, but the time that you can take the test is limited. Alright, so be very careful. I will limit the quiz to basically about 1 or 2 minutes a question. So make sure you pay attention to how much time you have left. So you click exam, you click quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3, quiz 4, quiz 5, whatever, and then down here you'll have to click agree, read all this. All of this will be in Hangul so you can read it, and then just click start exam. Once you start the exam, you will see a test kind of like this. This isn't our test at all, but it'll look similar to this. We'll either have a choice, so you just check one of the boxes, maybe A, B, C, or D, check, 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 or you'll have to complete a sentence, right? Sometimes you'll have to write a word, sometimes too. So it'll be one word or one sentence or A, B, C, D choice. In any case, if you look to the top left here, you'll be able to see how much time you have left. Please make sure you pay attention to this because it's very important. You don't want to run out of time. Alright, so you'll take the test or the quiz, and a few days later I will check it, and then you can see your score. The score you get after taking the quiz or test is not 100% correct, so don't worry if your score is low right afterwards. I will check it a few days later, and then you can see your real score. That is all. So that's everything you're going to need to know about this class. If you do have any questions, you can send me an email, but let's look at what we have to do next week. Next week, our class time will be Thursday at 9 a.m. to Friday at 9 a.m. Remember, you have to watch the video within these 24 hours. If you don't watch the video, you will get minus 1%. If you do miss the video, it will be in the materials section after the class is finished. The topic for next week is Unit 1, and it's about lifestyles. And the grammar is simple present and adverbs of frequency, like I showed you before. So we will study all of this next week. Again, if you do have any questions, you can send me an email at mcbchosun@gmail.com, or you can send a message through KakaoTalk or SMS on my phone at 010-5548-9881. Don't forget to check the materials section on Cyber Campus. The materials section has your syllabus and many of the things we studied today, so please check that. Have a nice day. See you next week.